Welcome back to the Stanley channel, man. Today is gonna be me, it's gonna be chat, and we are reacting to a video from the one, the only, the homie, AlphaJayShow. What happened to Squidward's love interest? This shorty down here. And I'm not gonna lie, if my love interest looked like that, I'm probably not gonna let her in my show either. But let's get into it nonetheless. Let's go.
Bring back Squilvia. For all of the characters,
Was that her name? Was Squilvia her name?
that's been brought back or even promoted into becoming reoccurring characters, it'd be so cool if they brought her back for another episode, because the only time we saw her, it was in a fantastic Squidward episode. The first
Why did SpongeBob just have titties on my screen, bro? No, some of this has to be Mandela. Is that what it is? Or maybe I just forgot. I don't know. I don't feel like I remember SpongeBob.
Because the only time we saw her, it was in a fantastic...
He got smooth A's right here. He got smooth double A's right here. I don't remember that. I'm not gonna lie, they're rewriting history, but let's get it.
Squidward episode. The first reason is that we rarely get to see Squidward in this form. So for those of you who don't know, this episode is called Love That Squid. It starts off with Squidward feeling lonely, drowning his sorrows in a squid-centric love novel, only for him to realize that today will be different. Now it may be because I talked about Mr. Krabs and Mrs. Puff earlier, but this episode borrows a lot from Krusty Love, even down to the character in question seeing someone so attractive that they can't speak to them.
Who is that?
You know what messes me up about Shorty? Is that her nose does this thing right here. Like if her nose just went down, but her nose don't go down, her nose curve. Like, you know that one Duke clip where it's like, do it curve? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that's that, but with her nose, and that's what really throws me off about her. If her nose was like smooth on some shit, I wouldn't feel like type shit. You get what I'm saying?
He's gaga.
Speak to them.
Who is that? She's gaga. She's gaga.
What's good, Akuma? Appreciate the first time chat.
Jeez, wow.
Like with
Dang, I'm trying to have a shorty make me melt like that. I'm not gonna lie.
Krusty Love, SpongeBob also has to act as a mouthpiece here, hyping up Squidward as being an ultra-creative, sensitive squid who on paper seems like the perfect match. But who is Squilvia? Well, from what we know, she's very self-assured in some...
See, that's how you wingman right there. That's how you... Matter of fact, SpongeBob, matter of fact, bro. I forgot about that. Because you got to remember, Squidward wasn't ready to play no pressure, apply no game. SpongeBob really facilitated the pass, and I could always appreciate good work right there. Some of y'all need to take notes. Your main homie, your best homie, has never copped the shorty off of you. You've never helped your man's bag nothing. Take notes from SpongeBob, bro. He get it in there for your dog. You know what I'm saying?
To art such as interior design, and moves like a very cultured intellectual. Knowing how Squidward would love to be in that same world with someone, there isn't anyone on the main cast who truly can explore these themes without becoming uncharacteristic, outside of maybe Gary. And even then, Gary doesn't really speak outside of his dreams. So not only would Squilvia just be a nice addition to the reoccurring minor characters cast, she'd also provide fresh directions to take the show. Now, I do want to make it clear that for as much as I'm hyping up Squilvia, she only makes an appearance towards the beginning and a little towards the end, as this episode, like Krusty Love, primarily deals with SpongeBob preparing the person getting ready for a date. But the little we see of her, I see the potential for more of her dynamic with Squidward.
Hello, my name is Squilvia. Is he okay?
Oh, yes, he's just tired. You know, from all the hard work he's been doing around here. I so admire his work ethic.
We have seen Squidward flustered before, and unfortunately the
Hold on. Wait. I'm not saying it's no, you just gotta take no, hold on. Shape like it's wide though. Like is the shape throwing it off, but
the first example that came to my mind is within the season 4 episode, That's No Lady, in which he fell in love with whom he didn't realize at the time to be Patrick. Whereas that episode was playing up the romantic aspects for comedy.
This episode was crazy, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Not crazy because it was Patrick dressed up as a shorty, because he was like thinking that it was a shorty and Patrick's actually a guy. It's crazy because it's Patrick, like a starfish. Like this is what you copping. It made sense when you was going squid for squid, but squid for starfish, that's what you was copping. That's what you was feeling. It was the crop top. It was the crop top.
This one is playing it more for character development. We see when SpongeBob asks Squidward about his love life, he might as well show the restraint that someone would have if they were ordering something with fries through a drive-thru. Because there isn't any. Now, for those of you who don't know, comedic episodes about a romantic pair in SpongeBob are more common than you think. For one, I spoke about an entire category between Mr. Krabs and Mrs. Puff, which is only increased in frequency within the most recent episodes here. However, for even older fans, surely you must remember episodes involving Plankton and Karen, such as Single Cell Anniversary, Karen 2.0, or even recent episodes like Tangle.
Now, okay, we gonna talk about fish who has some. Come on. I don't know if y'all see my video on my channel. We gonna talk about fish who has some. You know what I'm saying? We talk about fish that did not enter the fish stick category for sure. Her. Word 2. If you know, you know. Now listen, I didn't watch the episode. I ain't watched the episode. I just reacted to it. Game is game. You gotta peep. She got the nose gill fish piercing right here. You know she going. You know she's overly going. But that's just me though. That's what I'm saying though. I'm just pointing out the obvious.
Tangle. The key is to put the romantic pair through wacky scenarios that build them together, but keep comedy at the forefront. Speaking of comedy, I find it funny that despite meeting each other for the first time, Squilvia is implied to know where Squidward's house is without asking him.
So how does dinner at 8 sound, Squilvia?
I think that sounds perfect. I'll come by your place, okay?
Dang,
See
she
you
moving
at
fast.
Squidward.
Ladies, fellas, first of all, don't meet at each other's places if you don't know them like that. But more importantly,
Bro, I agree heavily. I have no ops. None. Not a single one. Anytime I've ever been to somebody's crib I don't know, I'm always thinking about, okay, how are they trying to backdoor me right now? Mind you, no ops. Great community. I'm surrounded by phenomenal people. If I don't know somebody, immediately I'm like, okay, how are they gonna backdoor me? Have I been backdoored before? No. Why? I don't know. I think I just got like trauma or something. But I genuinely, what do you mean cap? This is not even nothing to cap about. Why would I cap about being scared that somebody's gonna set me up? It would have been cap if I was like, man, I'm never scared of a shorty's gonna set me up. At least that's good cap. Why would I cap to say that I'm worried about somebody backdooring me? You know what I'm saying? What are y'all talking about?
if they say they're gonna meet up at your place and you never said the address, call the police. Now with Squilvia getting ready for the date, she magically knows the location too. It's time to address the other reason as to why Squilvia should come back, and it's the way that this episode ends, which we'll get to right away. But to understand how well it comes together, you have to see how well Squidward prepares for this date. Maybe it's because of Squidward's lack of dating experience or the fact that SpongeBob was instrumental in getting the date in the first place, but he trusts the sponge in teaching him proper date etiquette, despite this man being damn near single for like 2 decades. And I'm willing to bet my channel that it will be 3.
In a brand new SpongeBob movie, witness the wedding you never thought you'd see.
Yeah, one day we're gonna have to have a conversation about the marketing of this special, but not now. For the most part, it is just standard SpongeBob and Squidward stuff, with SpongeBob and later Patrick largely being incompetent and Squidward being the butt of the joke. I will say, at least here, he's not going through a lot of physical pain, just a lot of inconvenience. Like for example, there's this one scene where Squidward gets taught to open a car door for a lady and let her in before getting into the car yourself. And
I'm telling y'all, open that door for that girl that y'all been trying to chill with, Chad. Go ahead and add that to your bag, bro. You lose nothing, but have the opportunity to gain everything by opening that door. Go ahead and open that door. And even without gaining nothing, just do it to be a nice individual, man. No cap. I haven't heard nobody tell y'all that in a nice little minute. If you forgot, don't, and not even necessarily do it for your moms. Do it for your sister. Do it for the girl you like. You could even do it to a girl homie, man. No cap. Open that door up, bro.
he sees the lengths that SpongeBob goes through in this mock date to test Squidward's patience.
So,
Oh, come on.
could I help you with that?
No, I think I got it.
Would you get There!
This episode takes a few weird turns that I find both funny and terrifying. In this mock date that the pair have, Patrick ends up being the waiter for them. In a full circle moment, we went from Patrick dressing up as a girl and being liked by people who, if they knew his true identity, would not feel that way, to Patrick being that person, with SpongeBob dressed up as a girl. And I can't lie, Squidward being pushed aside on his mock date and only now truly getting into it because of competition is wild.
Hey, Squidward. Who's the lovely lady sitting across from you?
Oh, no you don't, Patrick. You cannot just barge in here like this.
Yo, the people in the Bikini Bottom freaked out. Why are they always going for everybody's, you know what I'm saying? When Patrick was a shorty, Mr. Krabs was going and Squidward was going. They overly going for each other's girls. Now SpongeBob the shorty, Squidward going, and Patrick going. What's happening? They overly freaked out down there.
SpongeBob and
It is a Bikini Bottom. Hold on, Jay, yeah.
I are in the middle of a practice date.
That's right, Squidward. Fight for your sponge. Now, SpongeBob doesn't make this any better, sinking further into the madness and leading Squidward to give up on the practice altogether. SpongeBob tries to rein in Squidward, who's at his wit's end with the sponge, and he just goes off on him.
SpongeBob! Would you please just shut it and leave me alone? You annoying, insignificant waste of my time! Don't call me, look at me, write me, or even think of me! Cause you and I, we are not friends! And never will be.
But the twist is that during this entire blow-up, Squilvia saw the whole thing. Squilvia, the same woman who was told by SpongeBob, the person being yelled at, how amazing Squidward is, sees his true colors. Does this mean that she's turned away from him? Actually, no.
I think a guy who doesn't suffer fools lightly is totally dreamy.
I promise this is how them like toxic shorties want hood love stories to be like. You gotta look, you gotta walk with me though, walk with me. This is like the ideal, like you take the ideal toxic woman, this is their ideal toxic nigga. You feel what I'm saying? Like they want that like, oh, I want him to be mean to everybody else but sweet to me. Yeah. All right, bro. That's like dating a thief and being like, I want him to rob everybody else but never rob me. And then when $100 go missing in your purse, you're gonna be like, what? I dated a thief, but I didn't think he was gonna steal $100. Yeah. Come on, man, no cap.
Let's go eat.
SpongeBob, I'm dreaming.
The end is straight, with it seeming like Squidward and Squilvia are still on good terms. Now, this is an episodic show and they have no obligation to make more episodes, but I want to give my quick and dirty pitches for 3 episodes that match the vibe of the show that would go crazy in this new era of SpongeBob. And here's also my obligatory, feel free to tear these down and criticize these to your heart's content because I feel like it'd be hypocritical if I said you couldn't. The first idea I'd like to call Stay at Home Squid, an episode that revolves around Squilvia or her friend laying like a bunch of eggs, and Squidward having to take care of them. I say friend because if you know what happens with octopi laying their young, it has some very sad implications that I like to avoid. I'd imagine the episode would have them hatch at his home, and it'd cause a bunch of chaos. Despite his better judgment, he asked for the help of SpongeBob and Patrick, maybe even Sandy to help out with the chaos. And I could just see scenes such as one of the babies being super strong, slamming Squidward like through a printer, and you see his face as the printer hits the... Yeah, that sound effect. Maybe you can have Sandy try to wrangle them all in with a lasso only to be uncontrollably led around the house. You can have scenes such as Patrick trying to make baby formula and he does such a good job that he falls asleep after taste testing it. Basically, the whole episode is turning Squidward's home upside down as he helps out his girlfriend babysitting, as we haven't seen Squidward in that bag for a long time. And speaking of a long time, this next episode pokes fun at an era that was a long time ago. So my second idea is called Renaissance Man, and it is a Plankton steals the formula type episode, but one with a fresh spin on the idea. Since Squidward and Squilvia would like the fine arts, this episode can start off with them on a date at like the Bikini Bottom Museum, and Plankton and Karen would also be there because Karen wants to be taken on proper dates. As Plankton begrudgingly treats his wife to a nice time, he overhears Squilvia speaking about certain paintings and what they represent. I'd imagine some of the paintings would have beasts, fantastical monsters, or just other dangerous...
staring a little too hard. Niggas can't focus no more. Dang, bruh.
Creatures within them. This leads to Plankton inventing a device that makes living things out of paintings. And he uses the mythical creatures to terrorize Bikini Bottom, and more importantly, try to steal the secret formula. I can envision this scene where Squidward gets the Krusty Krab to himself and Squilvia for the night, which costs him like 6 months of pay or whatever, and Plankton decides to enact his plan to bust down the doors and take the formula by force. Squidward, upset at Plankton for ruining his date, decides to fight back, but since he's a weakling, he's going to have to take a different approach. And this is where I want to take a page from Frankendoodle and have the mythical beast creatures' weaknesses be slamming them back into the painting that they came from. I also think it'd be cool if both Squidward and Squilvia work together, as SpongeBob doesn't really have.
I also would want to pitch in an episode. You know how SpongeBob and Patrick had to take care of that clam for a baby? I would love to watch Squidward do that.
Damsels
with Squilvia.
In distress.
Squilvia.
Dressed like that. All of the woman characters hold their own. My third idea has Squilliam enter the picture, specifically to make it as messy as possible.
Love you.
I want them both to fight over her in wacky ways in this episode that I'd like to call Squilliam Returns. Again, Squilliam uses his money and Squidward uses his resourcefulness to woo his woman. Now during this episode, I want to paint a clear picture that Squilvia is not into Squilliam at all, but it's more so that Squidward is the jealous type and already has a long-standing rivalry with Squilliam that he's blinded to how his girlfriend actually feels. I can see them posting lies about each other, sabotaging each other's attempts to look good in front of Squilvia. And in all of these antics, we can even rope in the rest of the cast. I can see this episode building up to a wacky conclusion of something like a pirate ship battle where Squilliam has the best ship that money can buy and Squidward has this rinky-dink raft that's built with like thin driftwood and hope. He's maneuvering around cannonballs and trying to retaliate back. Maybe SpongeBob and Patrick can be along for the ride. I think it's better if he doesn't win so that Squilliam can think that he won the honor of Squilvia, only for her to explain that this entire time she never wanted to be fought over and storm away. Let me know how you feel about these ideas in the comment section below. And speaking of ideas, if you like to see how the writers brought back old SpongeBob ideas, you should check out one of their newer attempts.
I agree. The thing is though, I'm not the biggest fan of the new SpongeBob writers. Not the biggest fan of the new SpongeBob writers, but maybe there's some hope there. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to comment twice. It helps me in the algorithm. Check out me and Yo-Yo's channel. It's called SXY, and I'll catch you on the next video. Goodbye. Peace.